It is quite late. No, not really. 9:45 on Wednesday.
Day 7 of our Fringe soiree Odyssey.
Yeah. It's the 7th and it's day 7.
Yeah.
That's Ian. I'm Jane. And you can tell I don't do this normally.
You do well.
He does. Yeah. He does it. Anyway, it was our 3rd show of the day, and we went to see Amazing Stories of Blues and Soul, The Road Trip, at the Space on Niddry. So I'm going to ask the musician in the room.
Yes, dear.
What did you think?
Do you want to read the synopsis?
Oh, sorry. Oh,
yeah, read the synopsis first. Give them a bit of background and then
right.
I will tell you what I thought.
The feel-good 8-piece band returns to Edinburgh with their award-winning show, taking its audience across America and discovering the roots of blues and soul. Words, music and a dynamic stage show tell you how soul emerged from the blues and rock and roll of the post-war period to the smouldering sounds of the Stax record label. Anecdotes, humour and the songs of John Lee Hooker, Otis Redding, Wilson Pickett, Buddy Guy and many more. Okay.
Right, so you asked me what I thought.
Yeah.
I thought it was a bit... How can I say this, really? If I talk about the band, first of all, I think half the band didn't get the message about how they should dress.
Oh. Do you think that mattered?
I did. I think that they looked. I mean, obviously, the lead singer was all in red. The sax player had this amazing sort of piano-y type suit on, but the rest of them looked like they hadn't. There could be a pickup band almost. Really, there wasn't any. There was no. They were all sort of in black, but not really. And it was. I just think it looked a bit of a mess. Okay. One guy had an Australian hat on, the trumpet player. I'm thinking, what was that all about? It wasn't even in context with the sort of music that they were playing.
Okay.
So visually, I thought half of them looked fine and made an effort. I thought the other half couldn't be bothered. That was from a visual point of view.
Okay.
I thought, just talking about the drums, I thought the drummer was really good. I thought the snare sound that he had was really wrong for the sort of things that he was playing. He's playing a little electronic kit, which I quite understand them doing when they've got to take it up and put it down. They can't use a big acoustic kit or that and making it and all that sort of business. So using an electronic kit is fine. And he will have a choice of lots of snares, but the snare that was chosen was wrong for this type of music, in my opinion. Other opinions are available.
Okay.
Right. And I thought they tried to inject energy, but I thought it was. I genuinely thought it was a bit cheesy. The the way that they were. The guitarist that was at our side, it was on 3 sides. The guitarist on our side clearly was a massive fan of Wilco Johnson.
Exactly.
I'm
afraid I found that irritating.
It was irritating. He ran up and if you've ever seen Wilco Johnson from Dr. Feelgood and Ian Jory of Blockheads, because he played in them as well, and I've seen Wilco live. Wilco has a very, very distinctive guitar style, which neither of the guitarists could do. And I'm not surprised at that, because Wilco Johnson is a one-off. Mm. But actually, his mannerisms, this particular guitarist, he just ran up and down just like...
It was funny, because I knew who he was imitating.
Yeah.
Even I knew that.
Yeah.
But what concerned me was that he could go forward fine, but coming back, he was negotiating a keyboard.
Yeah.
And I always felt... I was very worried, because the whole time he was spent going backwards, I'm thinking, he's going to knock that keyboard. And you got the feeling that he wasn't confident going backwards, particularly. It was very off-putting, actually.
Yeah, and I thought it was fine at first. I thought in the first song, because the first song that they covered was a song that Dr. Feelgood had covered, and it made sense for him to be pretending to be Wilco Johnson for that song. But he did it all the way through the 1 hour set. he also played keyboards, and although it sounded okay, he's clearly not a keyboard player. Some of it seemed a bit strange, if I'm honest.
Okay.
Just the way his fingers were moving, because we could see that. Anyway, it sounded fine. And I thought, it sounds like I'm just trashing them, I'm not meaning to, but it's just how I felt about the whole thing, really. I thought musically they weren't tight enough for that sort of music they were playing. Some songs came across better than others. Some of it, like one of it, the trumpet was slightly out of tune.
Yeah, well, I have to say, I mean, I'm not musical in any way, but I've heard enough. And there were, in fact, I nearly leaned over and said to you, the brass section didn't sound right there.
The brass section was two players, so we had a
saxophonist.
Yeah, I was going to say which saxophonist. It was wasn't a baritone. Might have been a baritone. It was low, probably tenor or baritone. Definitely not an alto sax, and a trumpet. So it's quite a small brass section, but that it's fine. What they need to work on is the fact that when you have got two brass players, two guitars, or a guitar and a keyboard, a bass, drums and singer and a harmonica going all at once, there's no space in the music. And that clearly happened on more than one occasion, where it did sound a bit of a cacophony of sound, and you have to have space in the music that you're playing, really. Okay. I just thought that they needed to be better as a group of musicians.
Okay.
I have to say I wasn't that impressed.
Okay.
What did you think?
Well,
you said about.
I recognise the songs, and I can tell, once or twice, because they were obviously just reproducing.
Yeah, I just wanted to look at
the song, and I knew what they sounded like. So if they sounded like that, then that was great. Once or twice, I think that sounded a little bit off. But I am not a musician, so I don't feel qualified.
But, you don't have to be a musician to be able for you to think that.
No,
other people may think that.
But it was only the odd bit. I suppose, yeah. I mean, I did notice that one or two, the three had dressed up and looked great.
They did,
and the rest hadn't. But I thought, well, hey, does that matter?
I think they would. I mean, from a visual point of view. Sorry to interrupt you. From a visual point of view, if the whole band had dressed up, they would have looked amazing.
Right. Anyway, I did. Yeah, I have to be honest. I did think that initially, but it didn't really bother me. I thought they had lots of energy. I enjoyed the, it was a very sort of, there was not a lot of detail, but there was enough detail for me for them to do the links, and the progression of the music.
It's a road trip.
Yeah, I always enjoyed that. I like hearing the history and the facts, etc., etc. And it was, it was a fun hour. I enjoyed the music.
Yeah, I mean, is it amazing stories, would you say? I like you, I quite enjoyed some of the stories.
I mean, I've heard some of them before, because there's so many documentaries on TV. Mm-hmm. But it's live music, which is great, and I enjoy, because it's not an area I know an awful lot about. I'm quite happy to hear it again, and it just adds to it. And I think they went down quite well.
They did go down quite well.
It was pretty full audience. They were entertaining.
They were entertaining. I'll give them. I'll give them that, really. Yeah. I'm sorry. When you come to and we'll get on to how much it costs per ticket, but I think I just expect better. I expect more than what we actually got.
Okay.
Really, I did think some of the sort of the jokey bits, like the Basil Brush thing, and that was just wrong.
Okay.
if I'm thinking about it.
Yeah,
You know.
it's a cheap laugh. But
It was a cheap, cheesy laugh, which I'll be honest with you, I don't think really
okay.
works,
Okay.
if I'm honest with it. It's on at the Space in Nidri Street Lower Theatre at 10 to 5 every day until it's not got long.
It's only on.
It's only until I think the 10th.
Yeah.
So we've got 3 more shows. The price is £13 full price, £11 concession, and £10 for the family ticket. Check the family ticket thing, because I'll be honest with you, I don't quite understand how that works. How many stars?
Probably 3 for me.
So 3 from me. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want. So sorry if it's a bit of a downer, that really, but you liked it better than me. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow for some more fun and games.
Okay.
Thanks very much for watching.
Cheers.
Bye bye.
Bye.